And we continue to track Michael, of course, as it moves through the Panhandle, and especially the local impacts, which are potentially high winds with thunderstorms and isolated tornadoes. We've got a couple cells, so we've got to carefully watch on the eastern fringe of Michael, which is now, the eye is crossing Interstate 10, just northwest of Tallahassee. Panama City taking a major hit. Our own John Bachman there this afternoon. We'll have some, no doubt, some tremendous stories and video coming out of there. But you can see, here's Interstate 10, and still a really well-defined eye wall. That northern west eye wall is awful.
The hurricane made it to Panama City today about 1:30 p.m.
But there's been a little bit of a northern jog the last few minutes, last hour or so in the
Today is Wednesday, October 10th, 2018, Hurricane Michael. I'm in Jacksonville, Florida. I am Jake Locksmith, Jacksonville, Florida.
So let's shift gears now into Northeast Florida, because what we're worried about locally will be the thunderstorms that are developing here from Folkestone to the west side of Jacksonville to St. Augustine. This is what we're going to get, folks, from Michael. We're not looking at hours and hours of heavy rain and driving winds. It's going to be bands and clusters of showers and thunderstorms, any of which could quickly become severe with high winds and an isolated tornado. But total rainfall amounts, additional rainfall amounts with Michael will only be a half inch to an inch in most spots, maybe 2 inches on the high end. And we'll have these sporadic cells that move in between them, and the weather is just fine. This is pretty much as we forecast, and I see that continuing to happen as we go through this evening and the overnight hours. That's why the tornado watch is in effect till 2 in the morning. Conditions are favorable for tornadoes, so the watch will remain in effect.
I am praying for everybody in the way of the bad weather, no matter where in this world.
Southwest side of Duval County into White House at 404, NAS Jacks at 412, Paxton School neighborhood at 417, downtown Jacksonville at 423, and the zoo at about 430, the Ocean Way area. You can expect some gusty winds and certainly some heavy rain. Derek, do we have any traffic cameras on the southwest side in that yet? Probably not.
I'll check. Southern St. Johns County is looking really good right now.
Okay, let's go to I-95 then, and the storm moving right up into St. Johns County on I-95. This is pretty intense. Now, it is elongated. It's stretched out. That gives us confidence that primarily what we're looking at would be strong winds with this storm. When you got a little edge to them, a little corner or a hook, that's when we get even more concerned. But we are indicating 40 to 50 mile per hour winds.
Hurricane Michael made it today at 1:30 p.m. Panama City, Florida. 360 miles from Jacksonville, Florida. About 89 miles from Tallahassee, Florida. Today, October 10th, 2018, Wednesday.
Headlights are on, good idea, and certainly very slow go. Garrett has tracked that storm in St. Johns County for us as it moves to the north-northeast. Let's go back to First Alert Doppler HD, and it's headed into Bakersville in just 2 minutes. St. Augustine Shores at 4:09, into St. Augustine there in 16 minutes at 4:19. St. Augustine Beach at 4:23, and into Volano Beach at about 4:27. Strong winds, perhaps damaging winds, would be our primary concern with a storm that's kind of stretched out like this. Quite a bit of lightning as well. Widen the view a little bit more. We've also got a heavy storm going through Folkestone up here on the top of the screen. And then we've got storms moving through Gainesville, and these will continue to arc their way north-northwest through Baker County, some gusty winds and heavy rain. Here's the storm, looks like just a little west of Folkestone. This is one of the first cells that we've had across the Florida-Georgia border into southeastern Georgia. And this one will head northward up through Charlton County, and then eventually, it looks like it'd stay a little east of Waycross, could get Blackshear, though, and also maybe the Nahunta area as the storm moves to the north at about 40 miles per hour into Homeland at 4:05, Hilliard at 4:19, and Hoboken at 4:33. Well, earlier this afternoon, we had a tornado roll through western Clay County. What was left of that storm moved into western Duval County. Our own Kevin Clark was on I-10 westbound and got some
Duval County is my county. Jacksonville, Florida sits in Duval County.
Out of Clay County into Duval County. Kevin, you're with us right now. What did you see? And we're going to watch that video with you. We have a new warning in effect, too. Hang on a second. Okay, let me get the warning now, then we'll get to Kevin. This is no surprise. I mean, we've been talking about this storm for more than a half hour. In the yellow shading, that's a severe thunderstorm warning now in effect until 4:45 this afternoon. Eastern St. Johns County into eastern Duval County, basically following I-95 northward. So this is St. Augustine, Volano Beach, Nocatee, Ponte Vedra, extending northward right up to Jax Beach, Atlantic Beach to Mayport, and then inland to the east beltway of 295. Arlington will be sort of on the edge of that. Bayard at the I-295, I-95 interchange would all be potentially seeing high winds with this storm that's moving north at about 40 to 45 miles per hour. Damaging winds would be our primary concern, and it's for this cell in Baker County. Let's look at our traffic cam at I-95 because that is showing this heavy rain that's moving northward through St. Johns County with this storm. Pop up the traffic cam for me real quick if you would, please, and we'll look at the cell. There it is. This is Bunnell and 95. Derek will probably can get one further north than that. He'll pop that up here for a minute. Garrett's tracking the storm, so let's track this storm into your community as it moves northward up First Alert Doppler HD, and as it heads north at about, oh, that's a good shot. Where was that?
Just north of 207.
Okay, just north. So, and there you can see the wind. So now we're on I-95 and 207 in the midst of that potentially severe thunderstorm. So there's quite a bit of wind there, certainly some very heavy rainfall. And now that severe storm is going to head northward through St. Johns County. We want to get everybody up to date on the potential damaging winds there. Headed north with this green area and now red areas you see here. Headed right up north on I-95 through St. Johns County, the Gulf Village, the outlet malls, Nocatee, and then eventually to Duval County, Beach Boulevard, Jax Beach, and then as far north as Atlantic Beach and Mayport. Okay, before we got to this warning that was coming out, I was mentioning that in the west side at Highway 301 and Interstate 10, our own Kevin Clark was traveling westbound on Interstate 10, had some really interesting video that looks like a funnel cloud that was developing or that had moved northward into Duval County. That one time was a tornado in Clay County. Kevin, what did you see? We'll watch the video with you as you talk to us about this storm as you were traveling on I-10. There's no doubt in my mind, by the way, Kevin, that that's a funnel cloud.
Yeah, Mike, we were traveling on I-10, and we actually were tuned in to the Action News Jax app, your coverage, and as you were talking about this system moving through Clay County and then western Duval County, so we decided to look out for it, and we understand you were talking about it heading kind of north in the Brightsville direction, so we were heading west, and we were about a couple of miles east of where I-10 meets 301, and when we kind of looked over to our right and we saw this system, I didn't see any specific rotation, and you can walk people through all the technical aspects of it, but you know, it did appear to be pretty low to the ground, and we knew kind of right away what you were talking about. That system, again, if your viewers are familiar with where that Winn-Dixie distribution center is, that's kind of where that video was shot when we were driving heading west on I-10 toward Lake City. But yeah, some fascinating video as you may be able to take a look. We were getting screened by some trees, and
sure.
as you explained, that was kind of heading in the Brightsville direction.
Right, exactly. Looking north from Interstate 10. Again, that video is probably about 30 minutes or so, Kevin.
Yeah. I mean, it was about 15, I would say about 20, 25 minutes or so ago that we crossed it, and we kind of turned around on I-10 again just to try and get a better look, and it looks like it had kind of dissipated just from our vantage point.
Right. And we would agree with you based on First Alert Doppler HD. So that's about 20 minutes ago, western Duval County, for what was at one time a tornado warning storm. Kevin, did you see any indications of damage? And where are you now?
We are back on I-10. We're going to head toward Brightsville and see if there's any indication of damage. And of course, we'll keep you updated. I'll be tweeting out that video as well on my Twitter, Kevin A. and Jack.
Okay. Are you on Interstate 10 right now, then, Kevin?
We are.
Okay.
Yes.
Are you dry?
No, we're actually getting some moderate to heavy rain, and interestingly enough, there are a significant number of people on the roads right now.
Okay, yeah, and that's another problem. The afternoon commutes can be slow with all the wet roads. We want you to use extra care as you travel. The heavy rain now that Kevin's in is with this